Welcome to Beyond Ocean and Maine, MCM's news magazine program. I'm Robert Goitis.
And I'm Shayla Tran.
A student and a faculty advisor from Marshall High School have just created MHS's first robotics team.
The founders of the team sat down with us to discuss what competitions they are preparing for and what they hope it will bring to the students.
So my interest for robotics started probably kind of entering high school. I've always wanted to enter kind of like the biomedical application, kind of the STEM and tech fields, which has a lot of intersectionality with like robotics.
Actually, it was in high school. When I was a senior, my biology teacher saw an opportunity to join the first robotics competition similar to what we're doing here at the high school. And so I joined the club then, and it was life-changing. Before that, I wasn't even going to major in science, and then after that, I ended up getting a degree in physics. So First Robotics is a competition that is hosted every year throughout the country, and even some international teams compete. And there's this game that students need to compete in by designing a robot to do whatever the point of the game is.
So what made me decide to make a team for MHS is that there's very few classes that kind of pertain to kind of like the robotics interest and kind of the CAD modeling and stuff like that. So I wanted a way for students to have an after-school opportunity to kind of express that interest.
So one day last year, Elijah was a student of mine. He approached and asked if I would be willing to help run the robotics team here at the high school, and I thought it was a fantastic opportunity. I said, absolutely, let's get the paperwork in. And so we kind of soft launched last year, learning some basic skills like soldering, measuring, working with the screwdriver and the drill. And then this year we started rolling out as a formal team, as a formal group. And we have recently started with the kickoff event that starts every year in January. That's where we're at right now. So what the team does is during the year when we're not in competition, we're building skills with robotics. So that includes soft skills like communicating, working together, collaborating, and then those hard skills too, like the hands-on, wood shop, metalworking. And then during the season itself, from kickoff to competition, what you'll do is you work as a group to design, implement, and build a robot. And that includes things from building with a metal base, a drivetrain that works to move the robot, but that also includes like making programming decisions. How is the robot going to move? There's autonomous section in the competition, and that also involves electronics. So some of the students have been soldering, connecting wires, and figuring out how the robot will work.
So this is our very first year entering the competition, and we're going to be entering the competition under the First Robotics. So we've been kind of working with other teams in the area to kind of figure out a game plan and resources for the upcoming season. We have a few more weeks to finish up our building and programming of the robot, and we'll launch it for both of our competitions in late February.
So the current makeup of our team is mainly seniors. That's Elijah, the founder student of this club. He's a senior and he brought in some of his friends, but we also had some juniors and some sophomores sign up with interest. And I believe we have one freshman student right now, but we're hoping that as we reach success this year, show off how cool the robot is, that next year we'll be able to continue that. Those juniors will now take that leadership role and we'll be able to get some incoming 9th grade students excited. Honestly, their excitement at seeing something that they built working and being able to problem solve in the moment and feeling excited about doing something. Like it's so uncommon in a classroom to spend an extended amount of time building something and then seeing it work out. Like we're lucky we have multiple months to work on this. And so having that, and in a mixed age group too, like we're very fortunate that we have several grade levels there, and it's a unique opportunity to interact with other people. So the team's current needs, largely it's financing. It takes a lot to get funds to build the robot. We have to program the robot, and so any sort of financial help someone can give in terms of sponsorships is much appreciated. And of course, if anyone in the community has experience with robotics, programming, metalworking, woodworking, they can reach out to me at the high school and we can help get them in with the team to share their expertise.
We're still looking for funding as we're a brand new team. That can be really important to make sure teams are able to have an impact. That'll go towards shirt designs and more publicity, as well as resources that we need throughout the season, like tools and different materials. So we have a Greater Boston competition in first week of March. That one's in Revere at Revere High School. And we have another one up in New Hampshire that is more of a Northeast regional event, I believe. And that's the week before. I think the competitions are a great way for people who are kind of interested in the STEM field to meet and connect with other people who are also interested. Also just a fun networking opportunity to see people from other schools that you may know, like across the South Shore.
I think it will give them a new perspective on what it can actually mean to be in STEM. I think it shows how interdisciplinary things are these days. Like when you're taking classes, you're taking a specific class, right? We're doing like 2D or 3D modeling. We're doing engineering design, we're doing physics, but that's not really how STEM works these days. It's so interdisciplinary, and building the robot from its base to its programming really gives them that experience and that exposure that real life is like.
I hope it gives them an opportunity to kind of engage with those STEM interests and grow and challenge themselves to build something that they're really proud of.
The Gravel Pit Academy was founded a few weeks ago to create a space for children in grades 5 through 7 to focus on physical agility, endurance, and speed.
Those who started the academy talked about the curriculum and what it provides to those who participate.
So Gravel Pit Academy, we opened up about 6 weeks ago. It's a new program based on the South Shore. We're focusing on primary development and fundamentals of strength training for youth athletes, and just setting a good foundation for kids as they get older and approach working out, giving them a healthy lifestyle, taking a holistic approach to getting the full athlete involved in stretching, warming up, and strength and conditioning training and speed work, which kicked off a few weeks ago, and we're up and running and we're cranking away.
Gravel Pit Academy is really an organization that my business partner and I, Michael Prouty, have developed to help young athletes really achieve their goals through very specialized sports training. I have to give 100% credit to Michael Prouty, my business partner. You know, he really had this vision to develop something really where club sports end and, you know, where we could begin and take them to the next level, not just to specialize in an individual sport, but really to train the whole athlete. And that was the genesis of Gravel Pit Academy.
So this is something I've been wanting to do for several years now. I have been coaching and I've had my own children go through many different sports, from baseball, lacrosse, to basketball, to mainly football. And I've seen a lot of specialized training for sports, say like lacrosse or baseball, but a lot of this training doesn't focus on the whole athlete. It's a lot of just getting in and working on pitching, working on fielding, or working on lacrosse work. We at Gravel Pit Academy want to focus on the whole athlete and get them trained, learning how to lift, learning how to get proper form, technique, mechanics of running, and get them set up so their whole athletic development is improved. So we started out initially with kids from ages 5th grade to 7th grade, and we started with those kids to get them set up in learning the fundamentals of lifting, like I said earlier. And we've expanded that now from 2nd grade all the way up to 8th grade and above, and we're getting them kids into the gym, getting them learning, getting them moving, getting them sweating. And we want to get those kids, we want to get them in early, so when they get into high school, when they get into their own and they're going to the gym by themselves, they have a good base on how to lift, how to get warmed up, how to stretch, how to do everything properly, so they're not just into the gym and doing bicep curls every day to try and get stronger. They have a good base on full fundamentals of lifting.
You know, we're doing everything. It's very sports specific, but we're training the whole body athlete, right? And so we're focused on agility, we're focused on speed, we're focused on explosive movements. So that can be a range of different exercises, from box jumps, it can be hurdles, it can be plyometric movements, body weight movements. You know, really these are things that are training not only the whole athlete, but are also really hitting areas like the core, which goes across sports. So we're giving them everything in terms of what they're going to need to succeed for sports, in terms of strength, speed, power, quickness, agility. But we're giving them more than that. We're giving them confidence. We're giving them the ability to be a better part of the community as a whole. We're really focused on the whole athlete. And that's one of the things I'm super proud of Gravel Pit Academy.
We start each training with a dynamic warm-up. We do about 15 minutes of warming up, stretching, getting the body activated, getting moving. After the 15 minutes or so of the dynamic warm-up, we go into speed work. Speed work doing plyometrics, doing agility training, doing speed reactive training, change of direction stuff. And then after about 15 minutes of that, we go into strength training, whether that's body weight exercises or just some small weight stuff with the younger kids, building up into learning how to use the full weights using machines and getting fully developed into the strength training. But getting them building up from the core and getting them all the way through. And then we'll do conditioning and some fun activities towards the end of the class to try and do some team building and get everybody involved and having fun, and some light competitions and stuff to keep everybody happy. So the feedback's been great. The kids have been loving the classes. They've been coming in, big smiles on their face. A lot of the parents have said, hey, my kid's excited to go to class. I usually have to fight them to go to sports or anything like that, and they're excited to come to class and the kids are having fun. We've also seen a big change already in just the 6 weeks in some of the kids that I'm seeing, just their footwork, their general being able to do a squat, how they were doing squats week 1 versus how they're doing squats week 6, or how they're doing certain drills. They're just doing everything better, cleaner, and just seeing that in the kids has been huge over just 6 weeks and working with them for the first session.
The feedback that we've been getting so far has been an overwhelmingly positive response. I hear it from the parents, from the students, from you name it. And I'm thrilled to see in such a short amount of time that we've impacted and affected so many. So I'm just excited to see where this thing's gonna go. I would have to say, actually, it's the direct feedback I'm seeing from the kids. These kids love it. They love coming here and they love showing up. You know, you get involved in myself as well as my business partner, Mike. You get involved in some teams, coaching, and there's always gonna be days where the kids are just not thrilled to be there for whatever reason, right? But I haven't seen that yet here. And it's fun, like, because we're integrating. It's not just about, doing these exercises and training hard. Yeah, of course, that's a big part of it, right? But, Mike has done a great job in developing the curriculum in a way where the kids are really having fun. It's competitive, but it's fun. This is a great time for them to come in, after long days of school or whatever it is that they have in their daily routine. And this is a break. This is a break where they can have fun, get fit, and train hard.
Even coaching on the field, seeing a kid succeed, seeing him get more confident, bigger, stronger, faster, is something we always say, like working up towards that. And you can tell in the kids' confidence just in class how much better they feel once they get a good rep in or they do a good drill. It's huge for them.
I would just like to say that I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this thing's going. We launched this, it's only been 2 months, but we've launched this, and the response has been overwhelming. Our class is filled up like that. We immediately started to expand into different locations, and everywhere that we look, we're getting the same response. And people saying that they want this, they love this, and it's great. And I'm thrilled to see that the summer camps that we're putting forward, that they'll be out soon. I'm thrilled to see the older programs that are going so well in terms of the kids that are learning how to do, explosive movements, potentially weightlifting and stuff like that. I'm thrilled to see with the younger kids, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, just the response there that's been too. So it's a bright future. We're excited.
The Atlantic Resiliency Innovation Institute, an organization created to research and implement coastal hazard mitigation solutions, will begin their first cohort of students in September.
Leading figures within the organization talked about what engineering skills they will offer to students and the various partnerships they have created.
ARI is an organization, it's a nonprofit organization that is studying the issue of coastal erosion and trying to build resiliency along the coastline. It has 2 branches, the Marshfield Coastal Hazard Lab and the Marshfield Coastal Academy. And I'm going to be involved with the Marshfield Coastal Academy, but both organizations are looking at what's impacting our community here in Marshfield and Scituate and Duxbury, Plymouth, all the way down the coast and all the way down the eastern coast of the United States. Erosion's a problem. We have these beautiful coastal areas, but in the winter, or even in the summer sometimes, we get storms that do massive damage. And towns like Marshfield have been working really hard to try to find solutions to it. We spend millions of dollars a year on seawalls and riprap and other things that are used to try to defeat Mother Nature, but it's still not working. At the core of our mission is to try to prevent storms from destroying communities like the Brant Rock part of Marshfield or down by Scituate Harbor Lighthouse. Those types of areas get battered every year.
So this idea started about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was developed by the Economic Development Committee through the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce. So my partner, Jeremy Devaney, he had this great idea about bringing industry to Marshfield. So as part of our economic development work, we focus on the 3 business zones in Marshfield, which happen to be Enterprise Drive, Town Center, where the supermarket and Marshall's is, and also Brant Rock. And what we found is that Brant Rock is a underutilized, underdeveloped business zone in Marshfield. And if you look at all the coastal storms that come our way, if you look at old pictures of what Brant Rock used to look like, it used to be a really vibrant residential and business district. And over the years, it's just kind of become dilapidated from all the storms and all the unfortunate flooding that happens down there. So we decided, why not take a look and see if there's a better way to save our town.
So in the academy that I'm involved with, we're going to be looking at it with students who are 18 to 25 years old. They're out of high school, they're not in college, they might have gapped year for a little bit here or there, but they want to get back in the classroom and they want to do something for the community. So the goal would be to provide them with these entry-level engineering skills and knowledge base that they need if they want to go on into the workforce for an engineering firm or for a contractor. They'll be better prepared as entry-level employees. If they want to go back to school, one of our biggest partners in this organization is Northeastern University, and we're also close to signing an MOU with Bridgewater State University as well as Mass Maritime. We want people to be able to have the chance to go to college as well, focusing most likely on maritime engineering and the work that we're going to be doing here at RE. On the other side, at the lab, the Coastal Hazard Lab, there are going to be scientists working for RE that will work with local officials, we'll work with college scientists and try to find some solutions to the problem that's plaguing us year after year after year.
So we are currently awaiting our 501c3 nonprofit status. Hopefully that comes in soon. We are starting our first cohort in September. So that'll be a 6-month educational cohort with a 3-month internship at the end. So in total, 9 months for the students to come and study marine tech, engineering, all things that have to do with what's going on inside of the research lab.
I think any area that's on the coastline could be impacted by this. We're focused on Marshfield. Obviously, we want part of this with the Chamber of Commerce involved. Part of the goal was to help an area like Brant Rock or other areas and communities along the South Shore that can't do business in certain parts of town because of the damage that happens. So in Marshfield, it's going to help us in areas like Brant Rock along the water. But every town that's up and down the coast is going to be impacted. And as far as the academy goes, as far as the Marshfield Coastal Academy, students could come from any area around the South Shore. So it's Marshfield based, but it really has an impact along the South Shore. And eventually, if we come up with some solutions through our lab, we might be helping folks down in Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, Virginia, just go down the seacoast. Right now, we're at our early stages. We've received funding. We had a grant. Senator Markey and Senator Warren's office helped us immensely. Jim Cantwell here from Marshfield was a key in that work, working with Laura Brait, working with Jeremy Devaney to come up with some funding through NIST, which is an organization down in DC that funds entities like RE that are looking to do things on the science front to help the communities. So they received $1 million grant that we were just able to tap into back in December.
We're actually well on our way. We've built up our leadership team. We just recently hired a science director, which is really exciting. It blows my mind to see all the things that he's working on and all the stuff that he's going to bring to the Coastal Hazard Lab and really all the resources that are coming directly to Marshfield. I actually was talking to him yesterday, and we're going to have a flooding sensor right in Marshfield. So with the use of AI, we'll be able to have a customized flooding forecast right here in Marshfield to, help our emergency management team plan better for these storms.
I think Marshfield Coastal Academy will provide students a chance to get back, to kind of dip their toes back in the academic waters. They might be taking a gap year or two. They graduated from high school, they've been working maybe landscaping, bartending, whatever it might be, and they decide they want to go back to school, but not, in the true, college sense, whether it's a 2-year or a 4-year college. So it gives them the chance to get back into a setting that's really nurturing, in an academic sense and focused on an area that they know what they're getting. It's not a liberal arts education. It is focused on engineering. It's focused on preparing them for positions that they're going to be able to walk into, maybe with a J. Cashman Construction or a Vertex Engineering, those types of organizations that are doing work along the coastline day in and day out. The ultimate goal, as we've talked about, is trying to find a way to save our communities from the damage that happens year in and year out with storms. Marshfield's a perfect example. We spend probably a couple $1 million every few years at town meeting on coastal seawall repair. We do it over in Situate. You go down the Cape, you see it in Wellfleet and Eastham, you go over to the Vineyard. It's a problem, and it's a problem we've been fighting for hundreds and hundreds of years. And if we can kind of come up with another way to attack this problem, Marshfield's going to be better for it. All the other communities along the water are going to be better for it. And if, again, it's something that we can create some solutions that can be transferable somewhere else in the country, then great.
I want to get people excited about it. I think there's something really cool about being able to solve a problem that's happening right where you live. So it's really exciting for me that these students will have an opportunity to be involved in something that makes a difference that directly affects them.
The James P. Harrington organization has just launched its first men's wellness programs.
Both a participant within the program and the director of programs and events discussed what the programs will bring to the participants.
So the JPH organization is really like a family. It's a community filled with support. What we do is offer free and low cost programs, holistically based programs to people in the community. We decided to start men's wellness programs for a variety of reasons. We have some programs that are community programs that anyone can attend. We started off with a lot of women's programming, and the need for programs of wellness and connection for men, it's a huge need right now. Men are statistically less likely to ask for help when they need it. The mental health statistics for men, it's an important topic, and we knew it was time. So we started this in September to pilot and to see how the men's programs.
When I first started, I was pretty much in any program. I would come here on the volunteer basis, and I would pretty much do whatever they asked me to do. And so that was on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then when I realized when I first got here, there was a lot more programs geared towards women, and I would join those sessions, and I liked doing them. And then once they came to me and they said, "Hey, we're thinking about creating a men's wellness program," and that struck a chord. And I was like, that sounds like something I definitely want to do. We workshopped with some other guys that are in the group who started it, and we met with a bunch, probably like 30 to 40 guys, just coming up with ideas of what else can this community do and offer for any guy who wants to get involved in the community. And we just use that session just to get to know folks and get to know what others are interested in. And so from there, it stemmed to, there was a lot of sessions that we came up with regards to meditation, cold plunge, along with a sauna, some breath work. So I've been involved in all of those different programs for the men's programs, but like pretty much anytime they had a men's program, it meets 2 times a month. I usually try to join anyone I can.
So the men's programs, they're really special and unique. They're actually facilitated by men, for men, which I really love. And we just started doing 2 a month in January. And what we provide in these programs is a variety of things, really. The whole point of the programs here at JPH is to open people's minds to different ways of healing and decompressing, and having free programs really allows people to come in and try different things, and then maybe they find something that really works for them and they pursue that even more. But that's really what we want, is just to provide a variety of programs for people to try.
During these sessions, you first get to know who's in the room with you. So you're starting off getting to know new people. And I think that's important because we're all here for a purpose. We all came here for, it might not be the same reasons why I came, that the next person next to me came. We might be going through something completely different. But we're all here, so you get to know who's participating in the class or the course or whatever subject we're doing on that day. The results, first and foremost, I think I've met a lot of great guys. I definitely had no idea who they were prior, and just seeing the familiar faces. So just even from the first initial planning session that we hosted here on the property, it was like late in the summer, and just seeing the same group of guys come back, you're building that relationship with those folks. I always leave here learning something new about, and I take it into my personal life moving forwards.
The feedback I'm receiving on men's programs have been amazing from the men themselves. Every program's a little different and they come out really just happy or in a different space. They stay longer, they talk with each other. Some of the feedback too is from wives that are really just appreciating a place that the men can go, a safe place where there just isn't any judgment here, and that's so wonderful.
These programs, I think, will give a lot of guys confidence, hope. I think they might be either stressed at work, they might be depressed about something that's happening in their personal life. They just might need community. They might just need more friends. People just to rely on, a place to go where they feel comfortable. They can let their guards down. But like a lot of guys like to keep all those emotions in and lock them in because they need to be the macho guy. And that's not necessarily true. By coming to these programs, it's allowing you to deal with some of these emotions in a healthy way and being able to talk about them, being able to calm yourself, realizing that everything is okay. If you keep it locked in, it could turn to be something that's very negative. And it's unfortunate that some folks that they just don't get, they don't see that other side of things. They don't see that if I try this, something could change for the positive for them.
This concludes this edition of Beyond Ocean and Maine. Tune in next time. I'm Robert Goitis.
And I'm Shayla Tran.
Thank you very much for watching.